Professional wrestling is all about the finishing moves, and every wrestler has one that's their signature. But did you know that there are Easter eggs and hidden details about some of the biggest and best finishing moves in the history of wrestling? From the Stone Cold Stunner to the People's Elbow, the history of finishing moves is filled with fascinating facts and behind-the-scenes stories. You can't miss the second one on the list. Join us as we explore the secrets behind some of the most iconic finishing moves in the industry. Don't forget to subscribe for more exciting wrestling content. Let's get started with the number 10th spot. Number 10, the sharpshooter. When Bret Hart took the Sasori Gatami and turned it into the sharpshooter, it became his signature move. No one could break out of it. However, in his book, Bret Hart revealed that The Undertaker was the first to successfully escape the hold. It was a moment that shocked both Bret and the fans. The escape was so unexpected that it added to the legend of The Undertaker, solidifying his status as one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Even after all these years, the story of The Undertaker's escape from the sharpshooter is still talked about by fans and wrestlers alike. Number 9. Dudley Death Drop. The art of a well-executed finisher seems to have been lost over time, with many moves getting kicked out multiple times in a single match. However, there was a time when a finisher signaled the end of a match, and the crowd would go wild as the move was executed to perfection, resulting in a 3-count victory. This is why finishing moves like the Dudley Death Drop and the 1D are held in such high esteem, as they are protected and rarely kicked out of. Bully Ray on Busted Open has stressed the importance of protecting finishing moves. He even recounted the one time that the 3D was kicked out when Team 3D wanted to put over the Motor City Machine Guns in TNA. Number 8. Stone Cold Stunner. The journey to becoming Stone Cold Steve Austin wasn't easy. After working his way up in various wrestling promotions, Austin found himself in the WWF as the Ringmaster, a gimmick that just wasn't cutting it. It wasn't until Michael Hayes suggested he try a move made famous by Johnny Ace, the Ace Crusher, that Stone Cold started to find his groove. But Austin knew he needed to add something extra, and that's when he added the kick to the gut to set up the move. With that, the Stone Cold Stunner was born, a finishing move that would become iconic in wrestling history. Number 7. DDT. In the realm of professional wrestling, finishing moves are everything. They can make or break a wrestler's career, leaving an indelible mark on the sport's history. And while some finishers are intentionally created to be iconic, others are stumbled upon accidentally, as was the case with Jake Roberts' legendary DDT. As the story goes, during a match with a journeyman wrestler, Jake found himself in a front face lock when his opponent accidentally stepped on his foot. The two tumbled to the mat, and the DDT was born. And while the move has since become more of a transitional maneuver, its legacy as one of the most memorable finishers of all time lives on. Number 6. The Claymore Kick. When Drew McIntyre was still part of 3MB, he was known for his flamboyant attire that included tight pleather pants. One day, while attempting a high kick, McIntyre slipped and fell over. But in a stroke of luck, he managed to land the kick with such force that it became the inspiration for one of the most devastating finishers in WWE history, the Claymore Kick. McIntyre's accidental innovation turned out to be a stroke of genius, and the move quickly became his signature, helping him to become one of the most dominant and feared superstars in the WWE. Number 5. The People's Elbow. The Rock's signature move, the People's Elbow, may have seemed silly, but it was actually a genius way to get the crowd involved. As The Rock zigzagged across the ring, everyone was on the edge of their seats waiting for the elbow drop. However, not many people know that the People's Elbow was originally meant as a joke on The Undertaker. The Rock used the move to try to make the dead man break character during house shows. The move may have started as a prank, but it quickly became one of the most iconic finishing moves in wrestling history. Number 4. Sweet Chin Music. For nearly 2 decades, Shawn Michaels had been fine-tuning his moves in the ring. While Sweet Chin Music has become iconic, it wasn't always his go-to finishing move. Michaels initially used it as a setup for the teardrop suplex, but he soon realized the power behind the super kick. Once he knocked out his opponent with it, there was no point in picking them back up for a suplex. The logical choice was to go for the pin instead. And with that, Sweet Chin Music became one of the most devastating finishing moves in WWE history. Number 3. Diamond Cutter. The Diamond Cutter is one of the most devastating moves in wrestling history, and its impact has been felt even in the present day with Randy Orton and Matt Riddle using it to take down their opponents. However, the move wasn't always associated with Diamond Dallas Page. In fact, for a time, the Pedigree was using the Diamond Cutter as Triple H's finishing move. But when Page caught wind of it, he made a phone call to Helmsley and convinced him to let him have the move back. And the rest, as they say, is history. Number 2. Scott Hall, the Razor's Edge. Scott Hall was known for having one of the sharpest minds in the wrestling business. He understood the importance of a finisher and how it could make or break a match. That's why he was so adamant about protecting the Razor's Edge, outsider's edge. He never wanted to use it unless he was going to win the match. It wasn't about his ego, it was about the integrity of the move and its impact. Hall knew that if he didn't protect it, the move would lose its credibility and become just another ordinary move. And that was something he refused to let happen. Number 1. The F5. Although Brock Lesnar's skills as a wrestler are undeniable, it's interesting to note that he may have taken inspiration from an unexpected source, Marc Mero. The former Wild Man underwent a transformation to become the Marvelous One, and along with a new look in the form of fight shorts, he also adopted a finishing move that is strikingly similar to Lesnar's F5, Mero's TKO. And let's not forget that both Sable and Mero used variations of the TKO during their careers. Of course, it's probably best to keep this observation to ourselves, as I doubt Brock would appreciate the comparison. And that's a wrap on 10 hidden details you never noticed for these wrestling finishers. We hope you enjoyed this dive into the fascinating world of pro wrestling and learned something new about your favorite finishers. But hey, we want to hear from you. Did we miss any hidden details, or do you have a favorite finisher that you think deserves more attention? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest content. We've got more pro wrestling videos coming your way, so stay tuned and keep on watching.